I have lived in this monastery for 73 years now. I came when I was 25, a young man who thought he was searching for wisdom, but was really running from confusion. Now I am 98, and my body has become like the old wooden gate at the entrance to our grounds, still standing, still functional, but creaking with every movement, weathered by seasons I have lost count of. The other monks joke that I have become part of the furniture, that visitors cannot tell where the ancient walls end and I begin. Perhaps they are right, but I am still here, still breathing, still walking slowly to morning practice while men half my age in the village below struggle with pains I do not carry. People ask me why. They come up the mountain path, some of them barely able to make the climb, though they are decades younger than me, and they want to know the secret. They expect something complicated. They expect me to name rare herbs or ancient practices hidden from the world. What I tell them instead is so simple that many do not believe me. They think I am holding something back. I am not. The truth is that monks do not live long because we have discovered something extraordinary. We live long because we have stopped doing the ordinary things that shorten life. Let me share with you what 73 years in this place have taught me about why we outlast so many who seem to have every advantage we lack. The first thing I must tell you about is how we eat, though perhaps not in the way you expect. When I first arrived here, I was assigned to help in the kitchen. I thought this was a punishment. I had come to meditate, to study, to become enlightened, not to chop vegetables and wash rice. But the old monk who ran the kitchen, a man named Chen, who had been here 40 years already, saw my frustration and said nothing about it for weeks. He simply had me prepare meals, serve them, clean up afterward. One morning, as I was rushing through breakfast preparation because I wanted to get to the meditation hall, he put his hand on my arm. Not forcefully, just enough to stop my frantic movement. He said, "You eat 3 times each day. You will meditate perhaps once or twice. Why do you rush through what you do most often to get to what you do least?" I did not understand him then. I thought he was being foolish, that an old kitchen monk could not possibly grasp the importance of spiritual practice. It took me years to realize he had given me one of the most important teachings I would ever receive. Here is what I have learned about eating in my 98 years. It is not primarily about what you eat, though that matters. It is about how you eat. In the monastery, we eat in silence. We eat slowly. We chew each bite until it becomes liquid in our mouths. We put down our chopsticks between bites. A meal that would take someone in the city 5 minutes takes us 30 or 40. At first, this was torture for me. My mind screamed for stimulation, for conversation, for speed. But something began to change in my body that I did not expect. My digestion, which had troubled me since childhood, settled. The bloating and discomfort I had accepted as normal disappeared. I began to taste food in ways I never had. The sweetness in plain rice, the complexity in simple vegetables. What I know now, after watching my own body for 7 decades and observing hundreds of monks and thousands of visitors, is this: most people are not nourished by their food because they do not give their bodies the chance to receive it. They eat while distracted, while anxious, while rushing to the next thing. The body cannot digest well in that state. It is trying to run and process food at the same time, and it can do neither properly. We eat simple food here: rice, vegetables, sometimes tofu or beans, nothing exotic. But we eat it with complete attention, in a state of calm, giving our bodies the rest they need to do the work of nourishment. I have watched visitors transform their health simply by learning to sit down, breathe, and eat without doing anything else. No special diet, no supplements, just presence with their food. This is the first habit. It costs nothing. It requires no special knowledge, and almost no one does it. The second thing I must share with you is harder to explain because it goes against everything the world seems to believe. It concerns movement, but not the kind of movement you might expect me to recommend. When I was young, before I came to the monastery, I believed that health required vigorous exercise. I would run until my lungs burned, push my body until it shook with exhaustion, and feel virtuous about the punishment I inflicted on myself. I thought I was building strength. I was building breakdown. Here, we move constantly, but gently. We walk to the meditation hall. We walk to meals. We walk in the gardens. We climb the stairs slowly, many times each day. We sweep the courtyards, wash our clothes by hand, carry water. None of this is strenuous. All of it is continuous. I have watched the visitors who come here, especially the ones from cities, and I notice something about their bodies. They sit for hours without moving, then suddenly burst into intense activity, running, lifting heavy things, jumping and straining. Then they sit again for hours. Their bodies do not know what to expect. One moment nothing is asked of them. The next moment everything is demanded. This is not how the body wants to live. The body wants to move like water in a stream, constantly, gently, without force. It wants to be used throughout the day in small ways, not ignored and then punished. There was a monk here named Wei who lived to 106. In his final years, he could no longer walk far, but he never stopped moving. He would stand and sit, dozens of times each day. He would rotate his joints slowly each morning, every joint taking half an hour to complete what he called his greeting to the body. He told me once that the body is like a door hinge. If you swing it violently once a day, it will wear out and rust. If you swing it gently many times throughout the day, it stays smooth and functional for a lifetime. I am 98, and I can still touch my toes. I can still climb the stairs to the upper meditation hall. Not because I have exercised vigorously, but because I have never stopped moving gently. Every day, all day, small movements, walking, bending, reaching, carrying, nothing impressive, nothing that would make anyone watching think I was working out. Just a body in constant, gentle use. The visitors who struggle up our mountain path, panting and red-faced though they are 40 or 50 years old, often tell me about their exercise routines. They go to special buildings to move their bodies for 1 hour, then sit motionless for the other 15 waking hours. They are proud of that 1 hour. They do not see that the 15 hours of stillness are slowly turning their bodies to stone. This is the second habit. Move gently, constantly, throughout the day. Never sit for hours without rising. Never let the body forget that it is meant to be in motion. You do not need special clothes or special buildings or special equipment. You need only to stop sitting so much and start moving in small ways all day long. The third habit is the one that visitors resist most strongly when I share it. It is also the one I believe matters most. It concerns the mind and what we do with it in the hours before sleep. For 73 years, I have ended each day the same way. As the sun sets, I begin to slow down. Not just my body, my mind. I stop taking in new information. I stop engaging with problems or plans. I let the day settle, like sediment, drifting to the bottom of a still pond. In the hour before sleep, I do nothing that agitates the mind, no difficult conversations, no wrestling with concerns about tomorrow. I sit quietly, perhaps drink tea, perhaps walk slowly in the courtyard if the weather is mild. I let go of the day deliberately, consciously, like setting down a bundle I have been carrying. Then I sleep, and I sleep deeply, completely, for 7 or 8 hours without interruption. I have slept this way for decades. The visitors who come here, the ones who look decades older than their years, almost all share the same confession when I ask about their sleep. They take their worries to bed. They look at glowing screens that fill their minds with new information moments before they expect to sleep. They lie down with their thoughts still racing, then wonder why rest does not come. The body heals during sleep. This is not poetry or philosophy. It is simple truth. The repairs that keep us alive, the clearing of waste from the brain, the restoration of every system, this happens in deep sleep. If you do not sleep deeply, you do not heal fully. The damage accumulates. Year after year, the body falls behind on its repairs, and this shows in the face, in the joints, in the organs, in the length of life itself. I knew a monk who came here at 50, already looking like an old man. His hair was gray, his skin was slack, his eyes were dull. He told me he had not slept well in 20 years. Within 2 years of living here, following our rhythms, he looked like a different person. Not younger exactly, but restored, vital. His eyes had light in them again. Nothing had changed except his sleep. He learned to let go of the day before lying down. He learned to protect the hour before sleep as sacred time, not to be violated by worry or stimulation. He learned that sleep is not something that happens to you. It is something you prepare for, like preparing the ground before planting seeds. This is the third habit, and I believe it is the foundation beneath the other 2. You can eat well and move gently, but if you do not sleep deeply, the body cannot use what you have given it. Sleep is when the body does its work. Protect it fiercely. I am 98 years old. I have watched many people come to this monastery seeking complicated answers. They want ancient secrets, rare practices, hidden knowledge that will transform their health. I understand this desire. I had it myself when I arrived here, young and certain that wisdom must be difficult to obtain. What I found instead was simplicity, so profound that it took me years to trust it. Eat slowly, in peace, with attention, move gently throughout the day, never letting the body become still for too long. Protect your sleep by releasing the day before you lie down. These 3 habits are not secrets. They are not hidden. They are available to anyone, anywhere, without cost or special access. And yet almost no one practices them, because they seem too simple to be powerful. I have lived long enough to watch what happens to bodies over decades. I have seen what sustained attention to these simple things produces, and I have seen what neglecting them costs. The difference is not subtle. It is the difference between a body that carries you through 9 decades and a body that begins to fail at 60 or 70. I do not know how much longer I will be here. At 98, every morning is a gift I did not expect to receive. But I am not afraid, and I am not suffering. My body still serves me. My mind is still clear. I can still walk to morning practice, still taste my food, still sleep through the night and wake restored. This is not luck. This is not genetics, though perhaps those play some small role. This is 73 years of eating slowly, moving gently, and sleeping deeply. Nothing more complicated than that. I offer this to you not as a command, but as an invitation. Try it. Not for a week. That is not enough time for the body to remember what it has forgotten. Try it for a season. Eat one meal each day in complete silence, chewing slowly, putting down your utensils between bites. Stand up and move gently every hour throughout the day. Protect the hour before sleep from anything that agitates the mind. See what happens. Your body knows how to heal itself. It has always known. It is simply waiting for you to give it the conditions it needs. These 3 habits are those conditions. They cost nothing. They require no special knowledge or equipment. They ask only that you pay attention to what you are already doing and do it differently. This is what 73 years in a monastery have taught me. This is why monks live so long, not because we have found something rare, but because we have returned to something simple that the world has forgotten. May you find your way back to it as well.